Well, a wee bit of recovery seen on the Nifty. It's reclaimed that 11,500 mark just as we speak. Mild recovery seen on a lot of these heavyweights from the lows. The mid-cap index too has more or less moved into the green with a cut of just about 7 points as we speak. But jittery as we speak for the markets off the highs. And we will keep an eye out on individual stocks. And talking about individual stocks, Jet Airways, that is on our radar. Crisis for the company deepens as the management change is imminent. Sources tell CNBC-TV18 that lenders by SBI may soon ask the airline's founding chairman Naresh Goyal to step down. Ritu Singh joins in with SBI's plan for Jet's revival. Ritu, what are you picking up and how soon is the resolution likely?
You know, with tensions mounting between the two partners and Etihad indicating it may pull the plug on Jet Airways, lenders are really scrambling to find alternatives to revive the airline. And top banking sources have told us that banks are in favor of a change in management at Jet Airways and that lenders want Naresh Goyal, his wife Anita Goyal and his close aides to step down from Jet Airways with immediate effect. Further, sources have also told us that banks want Goyal to bring his stake down to around 10%, which is even lower than the 17% that was envisaged in the original bank-led provisional resolution plan. And instead, banks now want their airline to be run by a professional. In fact, sources have also told us that banks have discussed the possibility of replacing Etihad Airways, which is the other dissenting partner, with a new investor. Remember, we had reported that Etihad has indicated it may exit the airline completely by offering its stake to a new investor or to the lenders at 150 rupees per share. And this, of course, will be in addition to NIIF, which is expected to pick up 20% stake in the airline as part of that bank-led resolution plan. But if an investor is not found, the other option, of course, is for lenders to themselves take up Etihad's stake in Jet. Another alternative that has been discussed by the lenders is to give additional funds to the airline in return for Naresh Goyal and Etihad pledging their stake in Jet. But all of these are just options on the table for the lenders at this point of time, who will be meeting again soon to take the final call.
IBC means that we are grounding the airline. So we will try till such time we believe that all hope is lost. But as on date, I can say that not all hope is lost.
What is government's direction to you?
Government's no direction. One thing you have to understand, I dislike this word. We are bankers. We know our commercial interest. It is our duty to keep the government informed. The dialogue with Etihad, I can tell you, is on. It is not that they have conclusively decided that they will go out.
Well, the Telecom Regulator Authority of India has released the subscriber data for the month of January. Rima joins in with the key highlights on that front. Rima?
Thanks so much for that. The key takeaway this time is that Bharti has added more broadband customers than Reliance Jio for the first time ever, and that could be the reason why Bharti Airtel stock is a bit excited in trade. So Bharti has added 10 million broadband subscribers in the month of January, and this is important because broadband customers, which are basically your data consuming customers, generate more revenue for the telecom operator since voice services are largely free. Now the question is, what led to it and is it sustainable? And on that we do not have much clarity, but it's important that Bharti Airtel has seen a big jump in its broadband customers, and the chart will be up for you on your screen. So this month it stands at 10 million for Bharti, while for Jio it was at 9.3 million, and while Vodafone Idea continues to languish. If you look at the overall subscriber addition, Jio continues to see the most in terms of subscriber adds. So they've added 93 lakh subscribers in the month of January, which is 56% of the incremental subscriber add. The active subscribers, which is also something that you need to monitor because a lot of these users are inactive. Over there, Bharti and Vodafone saw a decline in the month of January, and that's because they have implemented the minimum average revenue per user, so they are weeding out the inactive or the low-paying customers. So the key takeaway, the two key takeaways: one, broadband customers, which are your higher revenue customers. Bharti has added more than Reliance Jio for the first time ever. But if I look at the overall subscriber base, Reliance Jio continues to garner a lion's share. 50% of the incremental subscribers in the month of January have been added by Reliance Jio. So the overall subscriber addition for Reliance Jio continues unabated. But just a standard disclosure, Reliance Industries, which owns Reliance Jio, is also the owner and the operator is the owner of the channel CNBC-TV18 that you're watching. Back to you.
Rima, thanks a lot for that. So that was the telecom data coming in. And before we take a look at individual stocks, Kansai Nerolac, actually, that one's the one which is lower as we speak, about 2.5%. That's on account of a CLSA note that has come by. CLSA says the pressure on auto sector has further accentuated this month. Remember, there are reports that Maruti has cut their production by about 25%. And as a result of that, CLSA sees this as a big concern for Kansai Nerolac. Remember, Kansai Nerolac gets about 45% of its revenues from the industrial space, which is the highest in the industry. And auto OEMs, or original equipment manufacturers, contribute about a third to the company's revenues, and they enjoy 60% market share in auto paints. So that is something that weakness in the auto sector would weigh down on the demand coming in for the industrial side of Kansai Nerolac's business as well. While CLSA continues to build in double-digit revenue growth coming in, volume growth coming in for the decorative business, it is the industrial part which is affecting them, also because the crude oil prices have risen. For Kansai Nerolac, because 45% of their revenues come in from the industrial segment, passing on crude price hikes is not as simple or as easy as it is for the other companies. More importantly, this could impact their January and February EPS by 6 to 7%, and overall FY19 to 21 EPS by about 2 to 4%. And on the back of that, they've downgraded the stock to sell with a target price of 385, which is currently at around 450 rupees.
Okay, all right. And finally, Nimesh is with us to tell us there's been some good news that's come in on GMR Infra. Nimesh, fill us in.
Yes, Nigel. So, the GMR made an announcement on Wednesday post-market hours that Delhi Airport Authority (DIAL) has awarded commercial development rights to Bharti Realty for the Aerocity. Now, remember, this MOU was signed a couple of months back, but they needed all the regulatory approvals for the development and the work to start on that Aerocity. It's at 23 acres of land which is given to Bharti Realty for development. In the first phase, it's 4.5 lakh square feet, and in the second phase, there is 4.5 lakh square feet. So total 9 lakh square feet has to be developed. Now, as per the commercials of the deal, the deal has been signed at an upfront payment of 1840 crores, and 363 crores will be an annual rent for 30 years for DIAL, and over and above that, there will be further incremental increase for another 30 years. It's a 60-year lease which the DIAL is given to Bharti Realty. Now, just to put into perspective and give a bit of a heads up as to what this means for GMR Infra. GMR Infra at the time of developing the Delhi airport, they had 230 acres of land to develop outside the airport and to monetize the money for that. They've already done 40 acres where the hospitals have been built. This 23 acres is for Bharti Realty. After this, GMR Infra will be left with 167 crores to develop and monetize over a period of time. So, as things stand, this was a long pending thing which was yet for approval. Finally, the approval has come from DIAL. So now Bharti Realty can go ahead and do the developments, and as a part of it, 1850 crores is the upfront payment, and they'll be paying for 30 years, 360 crores of rent, which will be shared equally between GMR and DIAL going forward.